Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our books poster. My name is Nabila Lestari and my friend Wajda Shafira. We will explain about our book report. The book that we have read is Love for Imperfect Things: How to Accept Yourself in a World Striving for Perfection by Hanim Sunim from South Korea. Apart from being a writer, he is also a Buddhist monk who teaches Zen meditation. This book, published on 2018 by Penguin Books, has 8 chapters and 242 pages. Now, let us read the synopsis first. This book will be guide to love yourself with expressing ourselves and having the courage to pursue the things that make us happy so that we feel complete. When you care for yourself first, the world begins to find you worthy of care. No one is perfect, but that shouldn't hold us back from love for the world, for one another, or even for ourselves. When we treat ourselves with compassion, empathy, and forgiveness, we learn to treat others the same way, allowing us to connect with other people. And then, how about the review of chapters 1 to 4, Wajda? Please.
Chapter 1. This chapter tells about how to self-care. You must be good to yourself first, because when you care for yourself first, the world will also find you worthy care. Able to express real feelings, it is like if everyone says, let's all have coffee. If you want a milk, it's okay to speak up and say, I'd like a milk. We consider it be good to others, but don't forget that you have a responsibility to yourself first. Furthermore, your existence is already enough. Don't want to be someone else. And chapter 2, family. We must be able to take care of both parents, look after mom and understanding our father, because we don't know what kind of they struggle have done to make us always happy. Chapter 3, empathy. This chapter says about love language, listening and hug as expression of love. Chapter 4, relationship. This chapter talks about how to overcome every failure in our life, is to fully admit you have failed. Admitting it will put your mind at ease and help you to see what you ought to do next. If you catch yourself desiring people's attention, tell yourself, I just must get better at what I do. You are noble, don't act like a beggar.
All right, next, for the chapter 5 with the title Courage, is telling about the courage to do something we want to do by starting from small things and from what we like. It is like if you want to start reading book, but starting from the chapter that we want to read the most. That is fine actually. And then for the chapter 6 is healing. This is telling about how to heal inner wounds by forgiving others who have hurt us. Even though that is hard, I know. But try to think that someone who hurt us is actually they also not feeling good. And then on this chapter, the author also shared about depression and things to do when experiencing depression. Next, for the chapter 7 is enlightenment. This is telling about how our mind can control our act. It is like what we think is not necessarily happen. So we will get enlightenment while our mind is clear, feel peace and positive. And for the chapter 8 is acceptance. This is telling about a way of letting go of something that bothers us, like our failure in career or regarding our health condition, by accepting it fully. That's the point of acceptance. And then for the conclusion, Wajda, please.
Okay, the conclusion, this book is Hanim Sunim's second book. This love for imperfect things awakens us to be able to love and accept ourselves, family, partners, and the circumstances around us, which are certainly not perfect. Each chapter is organized neatly and gradually starting from about oneself, then extending to others until finally healing and being able to accept. The hallmark of Haimin Sunim is to write sentences that are straight to define, right to define. I think there are many self-love sentences that we have often heard, but in this book, Haimin Sunim gives many examples for real cases that he experienced in everyday life so that it is easier to understand. Thank you.
And then for the last, our impression after reading this book. Reading the book of Hemin Sunim, this Zen Buddhist teacher is like meditating. I suggest reading the book quietly, slowly, and taking each word well. It feels very cool, like drinking fresh mineral water on a hot day. The topics raised are also very related today, such as don't be too kind, don't compare what we feel in our hearts with other people's outward appearances, don't worry too much how to listen to other people, don't be afraid to fail, and many more that I think are very enriched the soul. This book is very good and interesting. I think that's enough from us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.